86th minute, and Ronaldo Marman came on and scored the equalizing goal in the 84th minute. We're underway then at the Princess Mogogo Stadium. We're in Kumashu this afternoon. It is AmaZulu in the green with a white stripe down the side of the kit who will get us underway, and they will attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. Sekhukhune United, as they most often do, playing in red. And they'll play from right to left during the course of the first half. Interesting between these two sides. 1-1 last season, and Gwenya, who didn't play in the Mukuru tournament, the Four Nations tournament over the past weekend, William, that you were involved in. And unfortunately, he hasn't played for quite some time, but he did start off the season in pretty good form at Gwenya. In fact, scored the goal for AmaZulu before that equalizer from Ronaldo Marman. And the matches between these two sides have always been pretty keen.
He's another Gwenya that has an injury that might take him out for the whole season. In fact, when he got injured, they thought it was just an injury that he was going to recover from, but they discovered after a scan that it's actually worse than that. That's why it has taken him so long to return. Yes, he's missed greatly.
Good possession here by AmaZulu. It looks as if they're starting very purposefully. Hanamub on the overlap doesn't get the ball he was looking for, and Chepo Shilwani, former Barocca and Orlando Pirates right-sided fullback, will clear the danger momentarily. Little scramble out there as well for Tariq Feliz. I'm loving the combination of Feliz and Mtetwa. If you look at the two of them, they've got identical stats as far as appearances are concerned. 20 in the starting lineup, one off the bench. Player in your picture was Olarato Mandi. First start for him, only his second appearance of the season for Sekhukhune United, who have been beset by all manner of injuries, and not just to Bradley Grobler. And if you look on the bench with the players that ordinarily might make the starting lineup, Vusimusi Ngube, you've got Daniel Cardoso. So, yeah, you heard from Eric Tinkler that they have a problem. I don't think that Sekhukhune United are alone, though, as far as injuries are concerned.
It's that time of the season.
Yep.
The season is taking its toll. And that's why if you don't sign that well right from the beginning, you found yourself short, wanting at this stage. Suspensions, injuries.
Ramallah with a good ball opportunity. That isn't really taken. Ramallah on that right-hand side, we said he's going to be a danger. And it was a delightful ball in towards Mojelo, who had time and space.
Yeah, somehow, I'm not sure. I mentioned him that for the first time in many months. He's going to play as the top man. For me, I like his speed. He's able to play into the shoulders of the strikers, and he's got the speed, of course, and he plays into the pockets. Hopefully, he'll settle in very quickly. We know him as an often wide player on the right-hand side, but today, just because of his speed, we mentioned Gwenya not being, the other possible striker, Cardoso, for one, who's missing, gives him a chance to play at the top.
Twisting and turning, getting himself out of trouble. Liam Byrne, former Cape Town Spurs player, and looking to consolidate his position in the midfield for AmaZulu. This is Keegan Allen, who was with SuperSport United, had a short spell at Richards Bay FC. Turned 25 on Good Friday, just a couple of days ago. This is Easter Monday, and I hope you had a great Easter weekend. And if you are traveling back to wherever you started your journey from for the Easter weekend, please do so safely, because yeah, the figures are never great as far as the Department of Transport is concerned from accidents and incidents over Christmas and the Easter period. About consideration, I suppose.
Let's talk about Arthur's, Coach Arthur's ability here to introduce these youngsters. For me, I'm so impressed because he's dropped in two very young stars. You spoke about Liam Ben and, of course, Zikali. And very impressive. He's not afraid to throw them in the deep end. Hlangabeza is sitting on the bench. It's not because he's unavailable. He's available. But Arthur's mandate is to bring as many young stars so that it gives AmaZulu a chance to play 2-3 more seasons without having to collapse.
Now, Hlangabeza, a really, really good player, was here for a streaming match, and he won Player of the Match award in that one, and really, really solid in the holding midfield. But you're mixing it up a little bit, Arthur Zwane. So the two changes, Liam Byrne, one of them, Tapelo Matlakoko one as well. And yeah, it's fantastic when you come off the bench and score the winning goal, and then the coach recognizes the hard work that you've done. Nearly a bit of a mix-up in the defensive structure for Sekhukhune United. Brighton Global alongside of Tresor Chipwapwa.
Story of Glovo Bright is amazing. Played for Kruger as a striker, and Sekhukhune brings him back. They slot him into that center of defense, and he's not looked back since. And of course, Matloko is another player that comes from Kruger that they've just signed in the break, and he's amazing, Kevin. He's got incredible speed, and obviously on the ball, he holds onto the ball. He's always looking to take on a defender. You don't get too many strikers like that. Only 22 years old.
Yeah, but you look at the strength that Kruger United have. They're second in the Motsepe Foundation Championship at the moment, and doing a great job. And the signings they've made are absolutely unbelievable, putting pressure on Milford in the battle. You know, we're at that stage of the season where we're talking about where teams are going to fit in. Orbit College doing themselves no favor by cementing their place just behind Marumo Gallants on 18 points at the bottom of the Betway Premiership, just in front of Magesi FC. And that battle will continue because Chippa United's loss against Sundowns on Friday also means that they're part of that battle. So, yeah, important matches coming up this weekend as well. I mean, if you look tomorrow, Chippa against Sibulele down in Treberga, Magesi against Marumo. William Jongwe, the bottom of the table, can have just as much importance as the title run-in, which seems to be Pirates and Sundowns, and the rest playing catch-up for that, we spoke about it, that all-important third place and place in the CAF Confederation Cup.
The return of Lina from national duty, I'm sure he must be feeling great himself, having impressed. Yes, Bafana Bafana didn't win, but he's first stint at that level, and he gets the opportunity to go in.
Free kick taken quickly. Letlapa just got out of position for a moment. Cover required by Mkize to drop into that position. He's done nicely. Kosikona Ratebe. Might have been a chance to tickle it down the touchline towards Atini Makokolo. But the JDR Stars man perhaps didn't make himself as available. Keegan Allen. Just a bit of consolidation for Tariq Filiz. All of 33 years old now, the former Cape Town City player, and Cape Town City, one of those 5 teams in the Motsepe Foundation Championship that have a say potentially in promotion. Milford at the top, Kruger United, Hungry Lions have snuck into 3rd place. Then it's Catholic Stars and Cape Town Spurs, and Uppington City will probably be listening to this and saying, oi, we're not too far away, although they did draw the match in hand that they had against Lidoda Duva in Toyando most recently. Ronaldo Lina, 28 years old, played at Cape Town Spurs, played at Maritzburg United, made a name for himself. He's the #1 at Sekhukhune United. He's got a bit of work to do maybe. Stays on his line. Was there enough of a bump from Tresor Chipwapwa? Referee says high corner. Or was it Letlapa? Referee Siyabulela Konta.
If you ask me, I thought that for me looked very much like a penalty, but we'll have the opportunity to view it quickly if there was contact, of course. That for me, there's contact. Clearly, Makolo is brought down, and it's supposed to be given as a penalty.
Yeah, certainly there was contact, and contact not even close to the ball. He's nowhere near the ball. And there's the contact with the right foot on the right foot. Letlapa's right foot on that of the AmaZulu player. And they can perhaps feel hard done by Usutu.
Well, Mangoba Mniti will be saying it is VAR is overdue in this country. We lose matches that we're not supposed to lose because we don't have the privilege of reviewing some of the instances. The referees, you can't blame them. This game has gone too fast.
Lovely little sliding ball through the middle. That keeps us off his line. Lina gets a left boot to it, a right boot. The rescue will come from Tepa Mashilwani. They're breaking the line beautifully, our AmaZulu. They've had 2 chances. And tell you what, Kosikona Radebe, former TX Galaxy player, is causing some problem. Now this man can cause problems as well. His name is Matlala Bakhawa. Delivers with the left boot, but he can strike them with the right. And I think Keegan Allen got the better of him from that little slip from the 29-year-old, playing for the 23rd time this season. Counter-attack is swift from AmaZulu, although there are players offside. Space in front of goal! Ouch.
Ouch. From one man that has been able to get into those kind of spaces and find the back of the net in so many different occasions. And I thought the flag at some stage was going to go up, Kevin.
I think it should have.
Now, let's look at how this pans out here. No, I guess maybe.
When the ball was played,
yeah,
the replay stopped just after the offside would have been called. But the miss. Mojela. Space for Ramala. Both sides are playing very swiftly on the counter. Ramala off the post. Another chance for Makhawa. Belts it into orbit. But what a great opportunity at both ends for AmaZulu and Sekhukhune United.
Wow, this game is just opened up right from the beginning. It's transition football. It's a long pass. It's a good assist. Or first time pass from Mojela. Man. Mzimela didn't know much about that, as much as he makes the attempt, but he was nowhere near it. Lucky doesn't hit the upright and into his own goal. Very lucky.
Tremendous cut inside from the 26-year-old, formerly from Keswick Stars, an opportunity to play in the top flight of South African football with Sekhukhune United. Sekhukhune United. It's a lovely cut and thrust, William Shongwe, since the opening whistle. It's been first one side, then the other, and I think arguably after 12.5 minutes that AmaZulu have created the better chances. And what's been fascinating for me is how far Ronaldo Lina has been caught out of his penalty area.
And also, if you look at the congestion in that middle of the park.
Space for Ramala once again. Mojela does a little cut inside. He's got space, but Allen denies him. Nice catch from Mzimela.
What it means, because both teams are holding a very high line. Yes, it's congested in that middle, but it means behind the defensive line, there's space for balls to be put through, and then the speed of attack comes through. That, for me, is the most interesting, because each time there is a changeover, there's always space from behind for the ball to be played.
Even at this early stage of the game, it's inconceivable that we'd have a goalless draw here, William. There've been so many opportunities, and here they come again with Makokolo. Good space in the middle. Clearance made comfortably by AmaZulu, and away comes a veteran of many campaigns, Tabang Munare. Not wearing the captain's armband today. Munare again. And he does possess a rather venomous shot. Mkize. Now Lerato Mandi. Makhalwa. Just can't hold on long enough. It's a nice little touch as well from Makokolo, who's not scared to get on his bicycle quickly. And that should be an easy take for the keeper if he decides he wants to participate. It's a bit of a gap in communication between Ronaldo Lina somehow and his two centre-backs.
That high ball, I thought Ronaldo, if he realized he had a chance to actually come out without having to put his defenders under that kind of pressure.
Vuyole Tlapa. Tabang Munare just slows it up and attracts a bit of attention from Spamandla Zikali, youngster who has a bright future, as does Mahloko. Thought that for the moment the referee was going to just allow an advantage and continuity in the play.
Well, Zikali obviously making his full debut in the starting lineup against Sekhukhune. Impressive. He's that kind of a batty midfielder. He gets stuck in, he destroys, but he also got an eye for a pass when he gets the ball. He can play.
Pressure here on Alberto Mzimela. But the free kicks less than halfway into the half of AmaZulu. So quite a big distance for a direct shot. I don't think we're going to have a direct shot either. Makholwa is one of the players on the ball. Mashilawani offers another option as far as Sekhukhune United are concerned. Makholwa dink over the top, the header to the back post. Arriving not quite quick enough at the back post, but yeah, nice bit of invention there from Kize. Oloroto Mandy not quite making up the ground to get on the end of it, but anticipation plays such an important role in the game of football.
I think there was a possibility of a second goal, which both players didn't read much into it.
Corin Feely's very purposeful. Keegan Allen. Kosikono Radebe looking for his partner on the right-hand side. That is Atini Makokolo. Nicely done by Letlapa. Can he get a next ball up towards Mojela? He certainly can, but Feely's has Mojela covered. Chibwabwa. Brighton Glover is a huge run by Mashilawani. He's got Ramala for company, finds the former Catholic Stars midfielder. Munare to pick up the pieces. That's a nice little turn from him as well. The Tlapa also with a little shimmy on the inside of Makokolo. Some good ball possession here from Sekhukhune United, using not only the right-hand side, but popping over to the left occasionally as well. Ramala loves that little cut inside the dummy. Don't forget that left-footed shot that he produced earlier on. Mashilawani. Easy for Mzimela. We do love this counter-attack into AmaZulu, and once again trying to perpetrate from the same position, and the two men on the right-hand side, Radebe and Makokolo, have worked beautifully in tandem so far. Might have had a goal, might have had two goals actually. It's a foul from Mojela. Offers his apology. The 30th match of the season for Sekhukhune United, 28th for AmaZulu. It has been a long season, successful Sekhukhune United in the MTN 8 and the Nedbank Cup. Not so in the Carling knockout, where they lost in the opening round. Lost against Arrows, and they lost against Arrows most recently as well in a league encounter on the 22nd of March. Match away from home. They will return at home to play bottom side Magesi over this coming weekend with Sekhukhune United, on Saturday in fact. Teso Chipwapwa hasn't had much game time this season. It's only his 9th appearance of the season, 6th in the starting lineup, but don't forget Cardoso's on the bench, and Cardoso and Brighton Glover have done beautifully. Well, I was going to say, that's a very awkward way to try and clear a dangerous ball, because any touch of control from Makokolo and Ronaldo Lina might have been tested. Glovo escapes from Makloko. Mashilawani, Mandy, Munare, purposeful from Sekhukhune United. Munare with the second touch. Now Letlapa always offers himself over the halfway line. Makhalwa. AmaZulu retreating en masse. Mashilawani. One of two players in the starting lineup on 3 bookings today. I suppose that's a common theme at this stage of the season, because AmaZulu have 3 players on 3 bookings. No time to be cautious. There's a place in the top 8 and a place to consolidate. And that number 3 position. At the moment, big battle on from that number 3 position. AmaZulu Chiefs, Durban City, Sekhukhune United all have their hand up. The pressure continues, and a nice little cut inside from Monare. This is Makhawa. Kize has positioned himself nicely as well for any sort of touchback. Letlapa inside the opposition penalty area, offering himself as a striker, and the ball just doesn't go anywhere near Letlo Maholo Mojela. Waiting patiently. Away by Liam Byrne eventually. Consolidation from Tariq Filis.
Well, the build-up play has been excellent from both sides. The speed of the ball being shifted from one channel to the other is, for me, the most impressive.
I lost the ball in midfield, and Ramala suddenly over on this left-hand flank, who finds Makhawa. Byrne gets in the way. Still Makhawa held possession beautifully. It was Allen, in fact, who got in the way, and the shot eventually comes in, but not able to test. All the way to Zimela. Mashilawani not afraid to pull the trigger. Does have 1 goal this season, does Mashilawani.
Sekhukhune just keeps drawing these players from nowhere. I mean, they lost Matsimi through injury, and also from the right-back position. Also going forward with incredible energy. So Mashilawani has come in as well. He's really producing the same magic.
Mojela back to goal. Opportunity! Oh, it's been cut out beautifully by the AmaZulu defense, and such was the control at the back from Liam Byrne that the Sekhukhune United player was actually called for a foul. Kize.
That's the pressure that Sekhukhune are creating. Ben is being forced to go so far back to help defensively, and he gets stuck in there. And the risk to that, easily it could have been a foul against him, but he gets away with it, yeah.
Once again, it's Radebe, Makokolo, great ball! Goal for AmaZulu, back-to-back matches for Tapelo Matloko. That counter-attack has been promising this result from minute 1, halfway through the first half. Liberia won.
Makokolo obviously were very key in delivering those balls into the center, and Matloko always ever present to finish. And he came in as a substitute against Sekhukhune City and did the same thing right towards the end for AmaZulu to collect those 3 points. Here he gets the opportunity to start, and he says, I'm going to start early, and as long as the service comes, I'll present myself with the option. We spoke about some of the strikers that they lost. Ngwenya for one, and but he's taking over the baton. Yeah, that's the ball for me. That is played forward, and it's a cutback, a little bit of a cutback, and Makokolo just delivers into, beautifully delivered, pinpointed into the head. No chance for the goalkeeper at all.
Lovely delivery first up, and we spoke about Makokolo and Radebe, but the positioning of Matloko was absolutely perfect. Aerial still has all the control to beat Ronaldo Lina.
Well, we can call it as a weakness in the defense when you allow an attacking player to stand or to come in between 2 defenders. Or should we say maybe Mashilawani didn't provide enough cover on that far side. It's all those. It's a bit of this and that.
Now looking for the fight back to Bang Manore. Always the leader. Oh, and I just can't pick up Mojela.
That had been too far forward, and the weight of the pass didn't work for Mojela. But it's a good run by Amunari, who pierced through the middle of AmaZulu.
Don't forget, there is the Sibonise and Win competition for the best dressed home supporter, and just in that picture, a whole bunch of candidates, William Shongwe.
And I saw some stunning dress codes that maybe has not been displayed as yet, but definitely I think that competition is winning in the stands before the teams can win in the field of play.
And it's fantastic to see, because we, over the weekend, saw the 2 semi-finals of the Nedbank Cup, the Cup of Dreams, and even the fans that participate in areas where there isn't this competition for the best dressed home supporters, the supporters are still coming into the stadium and making an effort, and it's fantastic. Good pressure and well worked away by Brighton Tlovu. Ramala works himself away from a good situation. Kize. There was a bit of space for Mashilawani, but Ramala's facing inside the field of play. Now the little turn and acceleration, and they could get themselves into trouble. They didn't. Sekhukhune United. Makhalwa. Look at the chase from Atini, Makokolo, Lina. Possession pretty much on an even basis so far during this first half. It is AmaZulu who lead, though. Pass completed rate is pretty much on level terms as well. Makhalwa loves that sort of ball, loves this sort of space. Mojela waiting for a tink towards the back post. Makhalwa blocked by Allen. The ball doesn't pop up for Olerato Mandi.
In fact, great recovery by Allen to be able to come up with that block, because Makhalwa thought he had gotten rid of him by that drop of the shoulder and cutting inside.
Couple of good clearances today. Keegan Allen starting for the 19th time. He hasn't played as a sub, but a consolidation in defence, because Hanamub starting for the 20th time today, and Tetwan Fili starting for the 21st time, and Allen for the 19th. So remember at the beginning of the season when he was really being troubled by a defence that was allowing teams to attack them and score goals. Arthur Zwane seems to have been able to remedy that situation to a degree. Corner for Sekhukhune United. Ball stabbed away by Tariq Filis. Brighton Tlovu looking interested. Allen stabs it away. Now the pace of Makokolo once again. Solid cover by Letlapa, and the little battle continues. I don't think AmaZulu is going to win that one, but just look at the intensity from Atini.
So much energy, and sometimes, you know, youngsters, you're afraid to drop them in because they don't have the experience, but what they make up for the lack of experience is the energy, it's the aggression that they bring into the field. This is what AmaZulu are benefiting from here.
You know, it's good for me as well, is the defensive players getting forward. Then it's Mkhize who pushes forward, and then it's Munare who joins him, and they just switch around in that midfield role. Lest there's a turnover ball, and they called in to do some defensive duties as well. It really is quite clever, and Ramala, I think, has been involved in this challenge.
It's the young man that is brought down.
Ooh, did you see how he planted his left foot, and the knee seemed to hyperextend? Oh yeah, that's painful, hey?
Gee, luckily he seems to be getting up.
I'm very happy that he has got back up. Let's have a look at how the goal came. Makokolo in tandem with Radebe. Delightful ball. Aerial exploits from a Tapelo Mahloko.
Question, of course, like I said, Mashilwane at the back, maybe getting caught with the pace. He can't recover enough to get a bit central.
AmaZulu back over Kaizer Chiefs, currently in a live table into third position. 11 points behind Pirates, 13 behind Mamelodi Sundowns. Both will be in action tomorrow. Mamelodi Sundowns, our commentary match, playing against Durban City, who will play in the final of the Nedbank Cup after their exploits against Castrick Stars and that own goal in the opening 5 minutes from Mlilo. You won't want to be reminded of it, I'm sure. But Durban City hoping to keep a place in the top 5 as well, is where they're positioned. Really, really good opening season, debut season for Durban City in the Premier League.
don't look at all like a team that has just gotten promoted this season.
And you know,
so seasoned.
This is how the success comes. I mean, remember Magesi when they were promoted to the top flight and they went and won the Carling knockout.
Yes.
All the matches played away from home, all 5. And beating Mamelodi Sundowns as well. And maybe Durban City can do a similar sort of thing in the Nedbank Cup.
I guess the experience of having a boss that has been there, done that, also helps. And the decision he made, obviously, bringing coaches, though 3 coaching changes, 2 to be exact, before Peter gets given the opportunity to. He's always been there, by the way. Grew up with the team, got promoted with the team.
Opportunity once again for Nkosikona Radebe. Radebe is a quick man. Machalwa nibbling behind him. Not only an attacking player. Zikali. Trezo Chibabwa clears and does Letlapa. Mochela quickly onto the ball as well to get there ahead of Sandile Mthethwa. Mashiluwani changes direction.
It wasn't a bad idea, except for that there was nobody running over. You would have expected the Letlapa to maybe open up on the wide.
Arthur Zwane coaching for the 105th time in his career. Was at Kaizer Chiefs, don't forget. Finished 8th, 5th and 5th in the years that he was there. 21, 22 and 23. Then it was a gap year. Oh, Radebe didn't back himself for the acceleration. Fascinating.
What I like, I say, the expectation is from to provide quite a lot defensively in the position that he plays as a wing back, but he's not lazy. He's not afraid to push forward, and I guess the system allows him to do so because you got a bit of cover from the center of the midfield where Ben and Zikali do operate.
AmaZulu going through one of those stages where they are starting to apply pressure again. Eric Tinkler is the man who is trying to find his way back into that top 3 position, a man who finds himself on the back foot. However, I don't think it's a complete disaster because I think the last 3 times that AmaZulu have met Sekhukhune United, AmaZulu have scored first. And in 2 out of the 3 matches, Sekhukhune have come back to win. And at the beginning of the season, Marman scored in the 84th minute. So to equalize in that match that was played in round 4. So, yeah, I don't think it's a complete disaster if statistically. And the way both sides are playing, the enterprise continues. We've had 33 minutes of really solid entertainment.
It's only 1 goal, but there's been so much goal actions that the excitement levels as we look into the attempts there. And those that are on target for Sekhukhune that maybe they've disappointed themselves. Not that they've been made or created those chances. I mean, one hit the upright.
Well, the statisticians will tell us, and our graphics people too, that shot off the post, off the woodwork, off the frame of the goal is not a shot on target, even though it's pretty close to being. It's got to be within those millimeters, William Shongwe.
But for us, it doesn't get any closer than that. That's the closest. It should at least count for something.
Forward again, maybe a little bit languid on this occasion, but still purposeful from AmaZulu. They've got players forward from Michael Kolo, Radebe. Big deflection off from Kize.
Transition play from both sides. It's just amazing. I mean, AmaZulu have nearly been caught a number of times. So is Sekhukhune being caught over and over.
One corner apiece. AmaZulu wait until the 35th minute before they earn their first corner kick. Ball pinged in towards Ronaldo Lina. Absolutely no interest from Felice or the other attackers in that situation. And we talk about from set pieces, defenders as being attacking options. Zikali denies Ramallah.
That's the work that I was talking about, that even if your Hadebe does go forward, the work that is done by the two midfielders are to assist in such cases. He spreads out here to provide cover for the wing back, which he has done on a continuous basis. And it's a big demand to stretch from the center to provide cover of this nature.
It was actually Tabang Manare who was caught by the 22-year-old. It's a bit of good work done by Brighton Clovel, just holding off his opponent and then delivering the pass to his goalkeeper, Trezochi Papa. Sibisihle Mkhize, captain's armband, big responsibilities for the 27-year-old. Lots of game time this season as well. Shilawani just have a bit of a lull in proceedings at the moment, but don't be surprised at all if there's suddenly a little launch and a dart in towards the opposition penalty area, because both sides have shown a prowess to do that. Shilawani, Mujela has pushed wide, shows the first ball to Rian Welwenhanu, who gets it back as well from the Namibian. A bit of a dangerous ploy there, and Ramallah brought down. Very dangerous position as well for goalkeeper Msimbela Zikali. That's the job he's got to do, but the timing wasn't great.
Yes. In fact, he gives away ball possession and can't quite follow up, and he's desperate in his reaction and brings Ramallah down. And like you said, that angle for me is perfect for a left-foot player to bring it into the far post, but it also depends on how the wall is set. So now Mzimela will have to move and shift a little bit to his right in covering that far end of the post.
Now it's fascinating that you have the two left-footed players, and don't forget that shot of the post from Ellis Ramallah, who had Mzimela well beaten. 10 fouls today so far. 15 tackles. Player behind the wall just in case it jumps, and there's cover. Referee giving some specific instruction to the player in that position. All seems to be okay for referee Siyabulela Kunja. And then they're going to trip over their own ball to AmaZulu. They don't want to do that when the ball's about to be struck, I'll tell you.
Zimila's position worries me. It's a bit too close.
Ramallah, the ball's done its job. Chance for Letlapa. The ball's done its job again. Liam Byrne is the man who comes off the wall and covers beautifully. Chipabwa now almost 75, 80 meters back to Ronaldo Lina. And the build-up starts again. Just for a moment, Zikali going back into his defense. Now those counter-attacks that we spoke about from the beginning with Makokolo and Radebe, and the build-ups to them, and the two opportunities that they were there to score goals before the goal eventually came from Makloko, was a warning for Sekhukhune United, and eventually the ball was picked up. Majela with a foul on Zikali. I like the way this man plays. He's quite mobile for a player that's playing in that pocket.
Ooh, they got him again on the knee. Now look at Majela. Boom.
Yeah, so a bit naughty. Nonetheless, AmaZulu looking to pile the pressure on again. In this right-hand side, Radebe, Matlakolo, he's gone on the overlap here, Radebe. Didn't venture into an offside position. Third touch for Nkosi Kona. Interception came quickly, and they've got to be careful of the presence of Tapelo. Mashilawani, there's a player down for AmaZulu. Might very well be the goal scorer, it is. Taking a knock in the tummy. Just needs to get his breath back, one feels, but almost breathtaking was the shot that he took. Let's have a look at this again. I don't really see that much contact.
Yes, I mean, he's surprised exactly, because he's holding his lower abdomen, and as if some contact happened there. This happened a little bit higher in and around the chest, height.
Scores in consecutive matches. Does Tapela McLaughlin, one off the bench, one in the starting lineup. Justified position because of the win against Polokwane City. Win away from home, so important. AmaZulu looking to make it 3 victories in a row, and then it's match against Siwilele. Match against Pirates, then Chipper, Arrows, Orbit, Chiefs, Durban City. It's a good opportunity for points to be accumulated. Yeah, they have to play against the 2 Soweto Giants. But still, in amongst all of that, I think there's a good opportunity for Arthur Zwane. Sekhukhune United as well. Neither of these 2 teams have any cup competition still to play in, but Sekhukhune United, Magesi, Stellenbosch FC, Marumo, Chipper, Chiefs, Richards Bay FC and Siwilele. They also have a great opportunity to accumulate points. Monare, Makhalwa, Monare again. A little bit of movement through the middle by Letlapa. He loves that little cut-in, pointing towards the back post. Makhalwa gets rid of Keegan Allen. Space in the middle! Goal! Olerato Mandy on debut start. He's played once as a substitute, and the former Pretoria Callies man will equalise for Sekhukhune United before half-time.
Great goal, but you got to give credit to Makhalwa, who was very aggressive in taking on the full-back. In fact, it was Keegan Allen that lost the race completely, and it gave Makhalwa the opportunity to just calm down and review the space in front of him before he rolled the ball across. Brilliantly done. Yes, the young man obviously very brave. Now look at this. Look at how Makhalwa picked it up here. He gets rid of the defender, Allen. And also, I think Mochela was brilliant in realizing that he was not properly positioned to finish the cross and allow the ball to just roll across, or well placed for that matter. That, for me, was very key.
The other player who showed good composure was Ramala. It was called off from Mochela, it was called off Ramala. And he just stroked it into the back of the net. It's absolutely phenomenal. Score 1-1. 2.5 minutes remaining until we get to first half stoppage time. Game on in Kwamashu.
AmaZulu thinking to himself, it could have been 3 up at this stage had they taken the opportunities that came earlier.
So AmaZulu will drop back to 4th position on a live table. Sekhukhune United will climb to 5th position over Durban City, who, don't forget, will be in action against Mamelodi Sundowns tomorrow down in Chatsworth. There is the table, and that's exactly what we were talking about. William Sekhukhune United with a better goal difference, but a better goal difference than AmaZulu, a better goal difference than Durban City, and that's why they're in 5th place on a live table. And the battle continues for that final position in the CAF Confederation Cup. And yeah, hold on to your hat, because that's going to continue till the end of May.
It's that tight that a goal just brings a lot of shifting around of the position. Just a goal.
Offside against Mochela. Good shepherding by Feelies in any event. That is Timbisa Siyacha. She's done good work this season. Hanamob. Feelies coming under some scrutiny, and the run will continue to put pressure on Olweto. That's controlled by Radebe under pressure from Letlapa. Away by Zikali, but he's given it away. Mkize. This is where the problem came just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Not Keegan Allen this time, who was skinned on that occasion. Makhalwa! Tried to open his body with the right foot and curl it to the top left-hand corner. Beautiful invention, not quite the finish.
He's unbelievable, you know. He can peel to the line, but he can also cut inside. So for a defender, he just keeps you guessing. You're not too sure exactly which way he's going to go, because he went the other side, the first one. Oh, the return pass was perfect as well.
Fraction more curl, and that's Sekhukhune United in front. What a great passage of play from the little man. And they're coming again. Makhalwa, Mogela's gone down in a collision with Keegan Allen. Tries to slide it through the legs of Feelies. Does accomplish that, but there's no power.
And both of these sides are still so hungry, it's incredible.
Gee, but the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the attack for Sekhukhune is brilliant. Makhalwa is really pushing just about everything. He's the man to go to. He's a go-to man. I have no problem him piling as many passes to him because he's keen. He's hungry.
There's a yellow card from the match referee. This is AmaZulu's last 3 seasons, and so far they're doing the best that they've done so in the last 3 campaigns. They make it 4 with this season, and it's a promising run for AmaZulu. The season finishes. AmaZulu looking for a top 3, and at the moment he's in 4th, but that's the best that AmaZulu have done in the last few seasons. There we go, 12th, 11th, and then suddenly in the top 8 last season. Sekhukhune United were 4th last season.
So they're always hanging around that position in Sekhukhune. They've been a team that has been growing over the years, getting better and better at it.
Eric Tinkler, his 394th game. Keeper Lina has been sort of distracted a little bit, I could say, but Tabang Manare there to clear the danger. 3 minutes added on, by the way, to the end of the first half. We in the 2nd minute of referee stoppage time, and Glovu picked up the challenge. I'm not sure who was fouled. It might very well have been Hendrik Eckstein. Glovu with a yellow card. Lina seems to have a bit of a niggle. Maybe he's prepared to wait for the half-time whistle, which is only a matter of 90 seconds away now before he gets onto the treatment bench. First yellow card of the match goes to the returnee to the starting lineup, Brighton Glovu. Makhalwa now trying to work his magic through the middle. Leaves some space for Mojela. Not the power. He's threatened.
Gee, suddenly Sekhukhune walking up. I mean, this after conceding took them a little bit of time to recover and realize that this is a game that they must fight for, and they've looked very, very bright. If anything, AmaZulu have taken the foot off the pedal in the last 10 or so minutes, allowing Sekhukhune to get over them.
Work to be done again for Arthur Zwane, just to chat to his defenders and how much energy did they put into the first 45 minutes. AmaZulu is starting to cost them a little bit. To the contrary of that, I suppose Sekhukhune United put equally as much energy into it, and they seem to be just growing in that sort of confidence. Mashilawani had an opportunity to find Makhalwa, goes back though to Mkhize. Letlapa. This little cut inside works ordinarily, but Liam Byrne showed too much of the ball there to the midfield of Sekhukhune United. Good work done there by Mkhize once again. Byrne clears, and again a second ball to Sekhukhune United. Mkhize. Chibabwa. Mkhize deputizing in the centre of defence, because Brighton Glovu certainly got some bright ideas to go over the halfway line. We've had 3 minutes of time added on, and the referee, just about on cue, I suppose, blows for half-time then. In Komash to be Sekhukhune United, with Mojela to get us underway. The red-clad Lupino Noko will attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen, where Olweto Mzimela is waiting in anticipation for his first participation. And AmaZulu in all green will play from right to left during the course of the second half. And if it's anything like the first, well, the entertainment will be good. It will have goals as well.
And we've attracted the attention from some high-profile people. Guess what? Mark Leeson is watching this game.
High profile indeed. Not only from a metaphorical and career point of view either. If you've ever seen the bloke.
Gee, an extended.
The extended version. No way through for Byrne. Manare is a tough man to contend with. There's an injury, I think, as well, near the halfway line for Tabang Manare. This man's had a good game today. Manare has taken a knock to the side of the head, but he looks okay to continue. Has a little word to the fourth official, Thokozani Mkhize.
Which easily that could have ended up as a booking. A hand into the face of the opposition. is a bookable offense from what I've seen in many instances.
Andre Arendse to the left-hand side of your screen. And his coach, Eric Tinkler. Tabang Manari looks as if he's okay to continue. A valuable part of that midfield. Suddenly, Ramallah with a cut inside. Goes for glory from distance.
I guess the defenders were closing him down, and he realized he doesn't have much time and didn't have too many options maybe to roll that ball into the wide areas for somebody to finish.
No substitutions made by Otheswani or Eric Tinkler at halftime. Important to match this as both AmaZulu and Sekhukhune United on display tonight chase that third position on the table, which is currently occupied by Amakosi with that success in Gqeberha over relegation-haunted Orbit College. As we said, some important matches tomorrow. I suppose all the matches towards the end of the season have some crucial element about them. Those fighting the relegation battle. Chippa United against Siwelele. Although Siwelele up in 10th place at the moment, they are 8 points away from the relegation battle. And one feels really, Richards Bay FC, Chippa, Marumo, Orbit and Magesi are the candidates that need to be aware. TX Galaxy not too far away from that, but having won in penalties, albeit the semi-final of the Nedbank Cup. Chance to make it 2 Nedbank Cup titles to add to the one in 2019. But those are the contenders. Up at the top, though, it looks like a Pirates and Sundowns running to the title. And then, as we said, Chiefs City, Durban City, that is, Sekhukhune United are the contenders for that third position and a place in the Confederation Cup. AmaZulu, at the moment, with that single point. Sekhukhune United with a single point. Durban City drop a position. AmaZulu will drop a position from the third place in which they entered this round 23. Keegan Allen looking for Makokolo and his exploits on the right. A little bit of a circumspect start to the second half here, but it's only a matter of maybe a long fuse that's been lit, and sooner or later we'll have fireworks.
It's a great moment for both coaches to just watch what the opposition is bringing into the break. And because if one was in the lead and the other one maybe was chasing, you know for sure that the other one would come with guns blazing. But now that they all like level, so it's a question of just check the situation, who's doing what before we'll let loose in as far as playing on the front foot.
Shilawani, look how well Ramallah holds up possession, goes past his right fullback, and a nice pickup from Bahloko. Easy pickings for Tresor Chibwabwa. Counter-attack comes quickly, and looks like Oloroto Mandi has gone more on the wide side. No, he's just cut inside. Makhalwa, space for Ramallah. It's a lovely piece of defending by the Namibian, Rian Welwan Hanamub.
You got to love Ramallah. You know what? He pops in right at the top here. He actually started running around the center line when that ball got spread into that wide area. And it was as if he was anticipating that ball might drop into that area. And unexpected by the defenders, he rocks up there, almost unnoticed. Great running.
Zikali getting involved and done a great pass back to Keegan Allen. Space in the middle of the park. Mujelis made a bit of a run. Ramallah not quite there, and good defending from Liam Byrne. Mashilawani. Hanamub. A little stop and turn from Hanamub, and then a cheeky little back heel, and suddenly there's pressure here from Hendrik Eckstein. He's a really, really good player, Hendrik Eckstein. Where's the other run coming from? It's a dummy. Eckstein to pull the trigger. Good save, Lina. Can he get the rebound? He can't. And Kosi Kona Ratebe contributes for the first time on the scoreboard for AmaZulu. The Sutu are back in front.
Explosive action. From the time that they won it from the back, the speed of attack was very key. The numbers was also permitting. And yes, initial save by the goalkeeper, but only back into the oncoming Hatebe, who didn't disappoint from such a range. Almost identical goal like Mandi scored. Now, it's this clearance first. What a back heel to find Exton. And Zimbabwe, with respect to Exton, he tries to slow him down, which is the right thing for any defender. You don't dive into a situation. Regardless of the goalkeeper's save, the defenders took forever to react to that situation. Goalkeeper let down, if I may add.
Yeah, he made a good initial save, and then one would have thought that having made that initial challenge, Chibaba would immediately try to pick up the left-hand upright, and he failed to do that. But it's a good finish. I'm not sure why Mr. Swanee is as upset as what he looks. We'll ask him afterwards.
I think he likes, after a goal, he likes the game to be able to bless him to the center line so that the game can go on. He's always looking to score immediately after scoring. I've seen that reaction from other games as well.
Sekhukhune United have come from behind once. They're going to have to do it again. Otherwise, they'll continue with the situation of not having won a match in 6 games.
But Exton, Kevin.
Phenomenal.
You know, I mean, the experience. He was jogging the defender. He was like just looking for the right moment to see who's available to roll the ball. He didn't panic, he didn't rush, and that for me was the experience that he brings in such situations.
Brighton Lovell. The goal from Radebe does mean that AmaZulu are back above Kaizer Chiefs into 3rd place. Sekhukhune United will drop behind Durban City into 6th position, and that's how they started the weekend, or this round 23, because over the weekend it was cup action. A return from international break. Mkize, Mashilawani, Zikali trying to upset the apple cart deep, and this is Mandy, the goal scorer for Sekhukhune United. A bit of an angled run from him. Mashilawani is able to open that space. Byrne comes back to cover beautifully. And Eckstein have dropped behind the halfway line as well. Hendrik Eckstein is all of 35 years old and former Kaizer Chiefs player. And then he went and played in Azerbaijan for a couple of clubs. And did well over there, but came back and was picked up by AmaZulu. Hendrik Eckstein played for Sabail. Talking about Hendrik Eckstein, couldn't have been too far away from being onside.
Yeah, he let himself down. He had full view of the defenders in front of him. He should have been able to hold his run better. Let's look at this one here. There he edges away from everybody else. Clearly, you see that line.
Man who can contribute not only from assists, but he can bang them in as well. He's scored against Richards Bay FC for his 5th Premier League goal of the season. He's got 2 in cup competition as well. Hesitance in defence, but just enough. In fact, I think there was more hesitance on the attack from between Eckstein and Mahloko than there was in the defence of Sekhukhune United, who pounced upon that situation and managed to recover. Frown on the face of Rian Hanamu. Only 10 minutes into the second half here. AmaZulu returning to 3rd position, returning to the pinnacle of this encounter. Way by Mashilawani. Well, that's going to open the door, I think, to Radebe, but he wasn't quite on the money. Makhalwa was. Who's the quicker here? Letlapa. Allen gets there first. Was an apology in midfield by Tabang Bonare, but nothing from the referee, and now there is a foul, rather silly one as well on the veteran.
But Klago clutches into Monare.
Yeah, no intent. I just think he was just off balance and a bit clumsy. The goal scorer of the opening goal for Kruger United, as you said, William. How many more campaigns are in the legs of Tabang Monare? Back to the head scratching of Eric Tinkler. Honestly looking a bit perturbed as well.
And hidden from that list is Masaka. Tall, that is.
Sekhukhune United, long range effort here. Perhaps a run in the area, nicely done by Tariq Feliz. Not quite the clearance they were looking for, and a pick-up here potentially for Brighton Glovo. And you know he used to play as a striker.
Indeed. So he's no stranger when he comes into that area.
A bit of pressure
sorry.
coming from Mkize.
He was top goal scorer at Kruger United, if I'm not mistaken. It's nice to have a player that
Way
can
by
do
Rian
a double.
Ramala was scored on the back foot a little bit. Liam Byrne has aspirations over the halfway line, which we haven't seen too much of. And he's put Brighton Glovo under a lot of pressure. I think he's just clipped the ankle of the Sekhukhune United returnee centre-back. Not a bad game he's had today.
He's a defensive midfielder. And one of the biggest challenges is to get stuck in and destroy the opposition's approaches or movement into the offensive half. So that's his job for me. But what I like in the combination between him and Zikali is that they both are able to put a pass into attack. In fact, the first goal for AmaZulu came from a pass from Zikali initially before it got to Maklokola.
Today, the Sibonisa and winner will take home 10,000 bucks if they are not a card holder of the betting company. And Tetra with a big smile on his face. The referee has voted against him. And whether that's sarcastic or not, he's showing his displeasure in a way, I suppose. That strong player is Tetra.
Nice to see him circling at AmaZulu. Remember, he was at Pirates and never really got the regular action. But I didn't think that he was going to be let go. But he's come in here and settled well, and he's proving to be a tough defender. Now, what can he do, Makalo?
Sekhukhune United. Not desperation times just yet, but an equaliser I think would go down rather well for Mr. Tinkler. Feliz gets there in the right place at the right time. Danger hasn't been averted yet, though. Munare facing in the wrong direction. Pinged back in, and Mujela, the obvious target man. Feliz clears again. Munare, Makhawa. Little cut inside of Hanamub and a little cut inside of a number of players, including Matloko. Over the head of Chipapwa. Clearance from Mzimela. Danger not quite averted yet because Sekhukhune United still foraging. That's a foul from Letlapa. Maybe a foot up.
He clattered into him with the knee, the body. But look, in all fairness, he was trying to reach out for the ball. It's just that the way that he did it was a bit reckless.
Martini Makrokolo. 4 goals this season, including the 3 in the Betway Premiership. He hasn't gotten the scoreboard since the brace against Sibilili United on the 22nd of November. Started the season rather nicely. Scored against Magesi in a 3-2 loss in the Carling knockout opening round. Makrokolo also scored with an 16 brace against Chippa United down in East London. Hendrik Ekstein has 5 goals, 2 in the cup, makes it 7. Hanamub maybe got a bit fortunate, but Mashilawani's out of position now. Referee has blown against AmaZulu, and Arthur Zwane is, well, none too pleased.
Not at all. I guess it looked like a fair tackle because he got the ball. And I'm not sure exactly where did the foul derived from.
We've had over an hour of football in Kwamashu. AmaZulu retaking the lead since half-time. Tabanmunare. Brighton Globu. Interception from Hendrik Ekstein. And you know what? He's clearly dropping behind the halfway line. Now he finds Machoko. Does Machoko go on his own? He certainly seems to want to. And finally, the shot has been perpetrated by Machoko. Fascinating. And just a word from Ronaldo Lina to Brighton and Ndlovu. Talking about Ndlovu, so we move from Bright to Mthokozisi. And our winner tonight of the Sibonisa and Win competition that is brought to you as an activation from our sponsor of the Betway Premiership, Betway himself. Mthokozisi Ndlovu wins 20,000 Rand tonight. All of the effort that he's made, it's quite an intensive looking makarapa.
And of course, Dlamini is in the stands. He's got a bit of energy now that AmaZulu are in the lead. Before you know what's happening, you'll be hearing the roar from the fans with his antics outside.
Kutumela warming up. Might very well want to come on. I think it's Radebe who's got an injury, and Arthur wearing his heart on his sleeve over the last couple of matches. He's normally quite calm. He's one with Kaizer Chiefs as well, but he's not without emotion. And that's a good thing.
I still have to see a coach that doesn't exit his emotions in the field of play. The most difficult thing.
Certainly wouldn't be one of them. Ramala, Mashilawani. Little slider through Makhawa. Can he pick up Mojela? Well, Ramala arrived in the area as well. Cool, calm and collected. I fancy Sandile Mtetwa looked as if this was an everyday occurrence, making that sort of clearance, and he bats the ball away again for AmaZulu. Nice to see the recovery of Radebe, but AmaZulu still playing with 10 men. Maybe it's Makokolo who's injured. Little slider through into the area by Ekstein, and Ekstein's second half has been absolutely phenomenal. This is Mandy. Gets away from Zikali. Liam Byrne nibbling at his ankles, will be called to order.
Beautiful roll. Now let's look at this. He falls easily. I thought there was a hand extended from the defender, but Motogolo goes down a little bit too easy for the ref to attend to that.
Liam Byrne has overdone it once too often for referee Siyabulela. His sense of humor goes into the book, doesn't detract from the hard work that he's been doing in the pocket. Settling down beautifully in the top flight of South African football after having left Cape Town Spurs. Byrne fencing himself over the halfway line. Brighton Glovu, Mkize. But there's danger all the while that Makokolo is waiting. Olerato Mandy, 65 minutes of play for him and a goal on his debut start for Sekhukhune United. It'll be an evening to remember, win, draw or lose tonight. Clearance made by Keegan Allen. Keegan Allen looks as if he might have an issue. In the meantime, we do have a substitution. The first of the match, Seboko Mashiko, former Umvoti player in the amateur ranks down here in KwaZulu-Natal. He's got a goal in the cup competitions. In fact, just trying to find where the goal came from for him, but we'll confirm that for you in a moment. Henry Exine continues to be the driver of all attack for AmaZulu. The man who's made way is Depelo Mahloko for AmaZulu. So change up front for Arthur Zwane. Ramala needed a good save. Jala has been bundled over by Keegan Allen, and the referee turns away. It's a really top save from Mzimela. Now back in defence. A bit of a tidy-up job behind the Tlapa for Ronaldo Lina, and once again action at both ends.
Yeah.
Just to confirm that Mashiko goal, it came as the second goal in a loss against Stellenbosch FC in the opening match of the season on the 3rd of August against Stellenbosch FC in the top 8. Allen was the scorer of the other goal, but Mashiko's one and only goal has come a heck of a long time ago. Mkhize, shepherded by Tebogo Mashiko. 14th appearance of the season, and 6 of those have come from the bench. Olavato Mandy. It's good clearance from Feliz. Composure from Mzimela. Liam Byrne looking for the early release to Makokolo. Mashiko waiting in the middle. Halfway through the second half, cut inside. No foul, says the referee. They'll battle their way into some sort of security. Will Sekhukhune United, like the way the referee's allowing play to continue. Mashilubani gets from Mandy. How's that tracking back from Kosikona? Oh, shakes off one defender, shakes off another. Finds Hendrik Exine. Exine looking to return the favour. He doesn't have to though, because there comes the Rian Welwyn Hanamub. Delightful ball into the middle. I'm not sure that Mashiko should have had a touch. Although there is an offside flag against Makokolo, I thought the call should have come at the far post. It was offside anyway. But suddenly Sekhukhune United was struggling defensively.
I like the reaction from the AmaZulu. In fact, equally is Sekhukhune players in attack. It's like they're not afraid. They don't shy away from presenting themselves with an opportunity to get into that box. Half the time when teams are attacking, they lack the presence in that box.
Ramala decides to have a little dart. He'll win a corner, nothing worse than that. Hanamub contests the decision from Janchi Dlamini, the near-side assistant referee. It did come off the Sekhukhune United play, and Hanamub's quite correct, actually. And that's what he thinks of it. Whatever. Corner kick for Ramala. Corners have been in very short supply today. Same amount of corners as we've had goals. Doesn't often happen that way. To the back post, or keeper came out and committed himself. He didn't make up the ground though, and I don't think that Ramala kept it in play. That was anxious for AmaZulu.
Yeah, Mzimela nearly lets himself down there. He comes out and he doesn't get anywhere, but you got to give it to him because he jumped the highest to make contact with the ball. Might have looked like a foul, but his moment just carries him all the way high there. That's the one. I was looking at this. I thought Mzimela could have done better. He might have been unsighted to react like this. It shows off a goalkeeper whose upper body wasn't quite present or prepared to go down.
That's a foul from Mkhize. Zikali continues to be an element of disruption in the middle of the park, and 2 destroyers going head-to-head.
Element of destruction. That's what we need to call it. Brilliant.
Ball given away here to AmaZulu. Chipapa has to be wide awake to the exploits of Nkosikona Radebe, who knocks over the Congolese centre-back. 8 shots on target tonight. Second half possession, well in favour of Sekhukhune United. That's the challenge from potentially at this stage of the match, the winning goal.
Okay, an element of destruction with a touch of creativity.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
Thank you. You see, when you talk of an element of, you talk of a TLB that just destroys. You see, even with the TLB, there's now a touch of excellence about in the way that I'm talking about.
Is that what the T stands for? Touch. Sekhukhune United warming up a couple of players, and one of them is Daniel Cardoso. And the other looks to be Vusimuzi Ncube, one creative, one centre-back. Eric Tinkler. Time not quite running out. Don't forget the equalising goal came 3 minutes before half-time for Sekhukhune United. So based on the element of possibility that Sekhukhune United can strike again late in the second period, Ronaldo Lina says to Chibwabwe that he's got this covered in front of Mashiro. Monare Ndlovu. It's a nice ping forward, but Tetwa has it covered, and now Hanamub runs into Mujela. It's going to be fascinating to see the changes and the influence thereof from Sekhukhune United point of view. They do have attacking players, have some defensive ones as well. Ball kept in play nicely. Haven't seen Makokolo wide on the left-hand side, but he joins XT in there, and now it is Liam Byrne. XT, Makokolo. Byrne was looking for a slider down the touchline, didn't get it. And good defense from Mashilawane as well. Forces AmaZulu back to restart what looked like a promising move and fizzled eventually into not much. Offside against AmaZulu. Again, frustration from coach Arthur Zwane. Sekhukhune United about to make changes. AmaZulu about to bring on some consolidation, no doubt, to protect the advantage that they have created already, and why not do that? As we said, third place and consolidation for Arthur Zwane behind Pirates and Sundowns, or should I say Sundowns and Pirates. That's how the log is at the moment. Nice touch from Ramala, and Mujela and Ramala almost getting each other. So Ramala testing feelies, and not sure how many tests he fails. This man is terrific. Substitution time there. And Rian Hanamub, in fact, it's the wrong way. Sorry, I do beg your pardon. It is Daniel Cardoso that's going to come on for Mujela. Ncube is going to come on as well for Mandy. Substitutions for AmaZulu as well. So Ncube and Cardoso on, one a centre-back, as you said, and one a very much an attacking driver of proposition. Zikali and Eckstein make way. And Klangabeza and Bongani Zungu will come on. Zungu, a well-known figure in South African football, and he'll be of an attacking force as well. Klangabeza plays more in the pocket, but he might only be 23 years old. Come through the junior ranks, Klangabeza. He's absolutely terrific.
Listen, for me, he's one of those players. You talk about destruction. He's got more of that, but you know, he's one of those that has brains behind that as well. He's creative. He can be creative on a good day, but he just levels up things in that middle. And then you got
half an hour played in the second half, and wow, William Shongwe consults his notes. It's Liam Byrne.
Zungu, for me, is obviously the one now with AmaZulu in the lead. Maybe he's got the ability to hold. He can play. He brings calmness. He might not have the legs to rush forward or play on the front foot so much, but you want stability, somebody that can hold.
Mankokola once again. Mashiko has just run behind Chibwabwa, and that's not going to help matters much, but Slangapeza adding his weight to the attack, and does a fair spot of defending as well. That's nicely done, and picks out Bongani Zungu.
That's what I'm talking about now. Calmness.
Put his foot on the ball and he'll just control matters, won't he? Keep it away from Machalwa, who's had a much quieter second half, I must say. See Ngube in there as well. Ngube with an interception. Could very well go on his own, chooses not to. Opportunity that goes at the back of the net. And I looked at the reaction of Mzimela. It's almost as if the ball had gone wide. And Sekhukhune have threatened, and they've scored an equalising goal here.
Much relief, Derek Tinkler, the coach. And again, the reaction of Mzimela is of a goalkeeper. I hadn't seen the ball, didn't see it at all. Can you believe it in Globo? The changes that were made.
I can't believe it.
We spoke about him being an attacker.
Cardoso moved into centre back. Rajan Clover goes and plays striker, which he's known to play as.
Unbelievable. Wow. Well, the technical director is very excited. Makuberu, that is his coach, this team, but has been promoted to now management.
Quite extraordinary. Look at the high line that AmaZulu were playing. And then they lost possession.
Yeah, ball given away. Phyllis initially gets the ball into his legs. Yes, unsighted completely.
I thought Ngube had actually played the ball through too early. But credit to Brighton Glover, who held his nerve, waited for Tariq Phyllis to turn his back, and there was the finish.
Now
AmaZulu 2, Sekhukhune United 2. And again, like it was in the first half, game on. Hanamub, can he pull the trigger? He's only got one goal this season so far, has Rian Welwan Hanamub, and that was against Golden Arrows, and if my memory serves me correctly, it was quite a ripper.
Yes.
From the left-hand side.
Believe it, with his right, if I remember well. Because he cut into the inside and it opened to his right, and he smacked it with everything that he had.
Ball forward by Radebe. Hanamub near post, and you had to react quickly to Ronaldo Lina. Successfully in front of Mashiko. Still plenty of time, 11 minutes and second half stoppage time. For one of these two sides, the way things are balanced at the moment though, Sekhukhune United wouldn't have lost against AmaZulu in 4 encounters. And they might very well sew things up here. Ngube, still Ngube, still Ngube! Great foraging in the centre of defence by Mtetwa. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't dive into the challenge, kept his nerve, watched the ball, cleared the danger. Superb.
Four goals in this game, and it's quality goals, and it's a quality game. It's just a lot that is good about this game. Obviously, created chances, not all of them scored, but it's two very offensive teams. Sekhukhune away, but they're playing like they're playing at home.
Makokolo stopped in his tracks. 10 minutes in stoppage time, away from full time, the way things are at the moment. Once again, Kaizer Chiefs slide their way back into third place. AmaZulu, 3 attempts in the first, 3 attempts in the second. Sekhukhune United, 9 attempts in the first half, and dominant as far as attempts are concerned overall. Lina right on the edge of his penalty area, protected by Chibwabwa. Vuile-Tlapa, you heard players calling for possession. Makholwa does just that. Nice little cut inside. Look where Mkhize finds himself now. Players arriving at the far post. Mashilwani, nicely cut out by Rion Hanamub. Caught in possession here is the AmaZulu substitute. Ramala can't pull the trigger. Bongani Zungu guilty of giving possession too easily away. Cardoso gets a touch for Sekhukhune United, coming on as a sub, which hasn't happened that often. It's only the second time this season, attached to 16 first-team appearances in the Betway Premiership. Tabang Munare, Mkhize forward. Nicely away by Rian Hanamub. Chibaba finds Ronaldo Lina, who was indicating initially that the ball should have been played first time across to the left-hand side of defence with Vuile-Tlapa. They retained possession, Sekhukhune United. AmaZulu will continue in their quest for that third position away against Siwilele on Saturday in Bloemfontein. Not quite sure whether the Dr. Petros Samolamela Stadium pitch is opened again, but surely the Toyota Stadium will be. Sekhukhune United will be at home to bottom side Magesi, and that is a derby. Away by Phyllis in front of Brighton Glovo. What an incredible transition that was. Bring on a centre-back, Cardoso, and bang in Glovo up into an attacking position. He scores the equaliser. Unbelievable. You can't write the script here.
No.
Not prematurely anyway. Mkhize. Away by Keegan Allen. Back with Tabang Munare. Now Mushilwani.
Much better from Sekhukhune.
Yep.
They grab this game back to themselves in as far as how they detecting terms. Maybe not going forward too much, but this is now taking control of a game. Game management.
Don't forget, in the first half, Sekhukhune United were the side that finished quicker. Not only because they equalised through Mandy, but it's just the way that they were keeping AmaZulu at bay, and it almost looked like AmaZulu were running out of gas a little bit. Ball left behind by Klangapesa, and Sekhukhune United continue to push forward. Mashilwani has done well tonight. Still Mashilwani. And Glovo wasn't really that shepherded away by Keegan Allen. Klangapesa. Hanamub. Klangapesa the target. And that's a silly little nibbly challenge from Ramala.
Another that could easily grab himself the big award comment of the game is Ramala. I mean, we got Mahala is another that also was very outstanding in the first half, but faded in the second half.
Cardoso is such a pillar of strength, and that permits Eric Tinkler to shove Brighton Glovo into an attacking position where he's done nicely. Thabisa Kutumela about to come on. Turns 36 in a week's time. He's going to come on for Atini Makokolo, who scored the opening goal in halfway through the first half. He's had a tremendous game. His speed, his pace, man in the picture is not the man we're talking about, by the way. Mokhaila about to come on. Elis Ramala and Kaleza Makholwa making way. Makholwa's also had a dynamic game today. Chepo Mokwena and Sean Mokhaila making their appearance. We're still waiting for Kutumela, who's been warming up for, it seems like an eternity, for AmaZulu, who are still treating an injured player. But Kutumela about to come on. The man in the picture at the back there is Thokozani Mkhize, the fourth official, writing notes. So Makpokolo has made way. Tipiso Kutumela takes his place. One at half-time, 2-2 with less than 5 minutes remaining in regulation time. Tabang Munare, Litlapa, Namo Makhoba on the left-hand side. Wait to see who picks up the pieces there. Almost looked like a corner from Keegan Allen. It wasn't. He's done nicely. A little bit of a calf strain potentially, but he'll be happy to be back and make a contribution like tonight. He's been absolutely incredible in the match against Siwelele. No way through for Sean Mokoile. Gets his first touch. He can play it right back at left back. I beg your pardon, right wing, right back. And good player, formerly from Highlands Park. And then when Highlands Park were purchased by TX Galaxy, went out to Mbombela before joining Royal AM. Picked up by Sekhukhune United. Sekhukhune United driving the agenda at the moment, but there's only 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. Loud call from Mzimela.
Yes, yes. Very important. Hope you don't collide with your own defenders in your attempt to pick up the ball in the air.
Tense match between these two sides. 3 draws, 3 wins, 3 losses. AmaZulu have scored 9 times in the 10 matches played. Looks as if we might have a 4th draw between the two sides, and 11 goals for Sekhukhune United. And valuable points here. Sekhukhune United again above Durban City. AmaZulu dropping behind Kaizer Chiefs with the current scoreline. So one will benefit and one will not tonight. However, there's still plenty to play for in the season. Rian Hanamub trying to get away from Mishilawanu. We heard that 5 minutes have been added on, so just about 6.5 minutes remaining until we get to full time. Almost looks as if Chepa Mokwena was in an offside position, but the ball didn't reach him, so no flag from the assistant referee. And a collision here in the midfield with Monare and Liam Byrne. Mkize, Mishilawani. And if the coaches, wanted all-out effort and commitment tonight, I think he's got it. Little stab into the middle from Sean Mokoile, and that's the height of clumsy challenging.
Yes, but David, not sure if he's getting tired when the player's not going anywhere. Just guide him away. You don't have to dive in like he did. Now it's a set piece. It's in a very, very dangerous position for AmaZulu. Reckless.
Remember, from a similar position against TX Galaxy, and a little man from Orlando Pirates scored a beautiful free kick into that top right-hand corner past the Rockets and went on to score another 5 goals himself personally, another 2. But yeah, never out of the top 8 in the last 4 seasons. Sekhukhune United, 7th, 4th and 4th. And a draw tonight will have them in 5th position. A win would be 4th, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen, because regulation time is coming to its conclusion in another second or 2, and we'll have a stoppage time period. Who's going to be the perpetrator? Through the wall, over the top. It was all set up beautifully for Sekhukhune United. There was a little deflection from Ndlovu. So Sekhukhune United will stay on the attack here with a corner. Yeah, it came off Byrne, didn't it? Eric Tinkler. Playing against the bottom side is not going to be easy over the weekend. Both sides in action on Saturday. Hanging corner kick. Keepers come out very, very late indeed. Ball scrambled away by Santile Mthethwa. And the goalkeeper's come out and saved it a little bit there. Ronaldo Lina, keeper sweeper. And Tetua again. Was that a thing in your day, William Shongo? Keeper sweeper?
Naturally. The thing is, I played as a Liverpool player, so I was very comfortable coming up and dealing those situations. As we look into the log once again.
AmaZulu will drop behind Chiefs. Sekhukhune United will climb over City. And although they each accumulate a point, as far as the table is concerned, AmaZulu on the back foot a little bit. Sekhukhune United with just a little climb. Plenty of match time still to come this season. Another 7 matches, which is 21 points.
I would be very disappointed with himself. The way AmaZulu are finishing, for me, they're losing the plot completely in the way that they're allowing Sekhukhune to control this game. And even when they do win the ball eventually, they still can't construct any passes to come out or even create any threat of any nature for Sekhukhune.
Absolutely right. Daniel Cardoso looking for Sean Mochaile, nicely away by Tetua. And the second ball falls to Sekhukhune United again with Vusimuzi Ncube to the fore. Nice turn from Mokwena. Need to be careful not to have given the ball away there. They didn't. Letlapa. And again, just hesitant on the ball there. Sianda Klangabeza. The momentum clearly with Sekhukhune and AmaZulu clearing the danger for the moment. Letlapa in possession. Scramble back here from Kize, does beautifully in front of Mashiro. Strong header from Keegan Allen. 90 seconds before we have full time. This is Klangabeza. Welwyn Hanamub. Tabiso Kutumela. And easy piece of defending from Letlapa and company. Little flick on there, and trying to be expressive at this stage of the game was Vusimuzi Ncube. Sean Mochaile. Or maybe the control shouldn't have been that expressive, and a little turn back towards the near side. Tetua clears. Burn. Phillies. Nice little touches through the middle as well to AmaZulu with Bongani Zungu. We're inside the final minute that was added on by referee Sibulela Kunta. On the balance of play, William, do you think 2-2 is a fair reflection?
I think so. Honestly, I thought both teams came here to play. And yes, there might have been a lot of chances missed, but once again, that happened to both sides.
Fascinating that we'd have a change with 30 seconds remaining. But Lebogang Piri, who's back in South Africa and playing for the 5th time for Sekhukhune United under the colours of Babina Noko, is about to come on for Tebang Monare. Tebang Monare has been magnificent in that midfield. Easy clearance away by Sekhukhune United, and well, the change came, but referee still keeps